This next speaker, this is actually her second round in the Unstoppable Life Mastermind. Some of you know her, and you know her as soon as she walks in the room because her smile and energy like lights up the building. So get ready. You're going to have to like rub your cheeks because they're going to hurt from smiling so much. She's got an amazing podcast. She is my prayer warrior. She covers me in prayer. She'll leave me like, anytime I'm going to do some big event or something, I always get a prayer from her that I save. She's amazing. And I'm just so proud of her for having the courage to step on this stage. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage the one, the only, Jennifer LaGuardia.
I don't wanna hear that everything is okay, 'cause it's not alright. I need a little time to find some peace of heart, some peace of mind. All I know is we don't.
Go get them.
Hello, hello. This story that I am so grateful to share with you is one of many reasons why I believe so passionately in God, why I am so very much in love with Jesus, and why I make it be my passionate mission to be the encouraging voice of hope for all those at that point of the journey it looks and feels like all hope is completely lost. So many years ago, a very dear friend of mine once shared with me before he passed away. He said, Jennifer, be careful who you get involved with. Marry the right person. Your life will feel like heaven on earth. Even when you go through the tough stuff together, it'll make all the difference in the world. Marry the wrong person. He said, honey, you just don't even know the hell you're walking into. You know, he was not wrong. So I've always been one of those who just love oceans deep. I'm a very passionate, loving, deeply loving person. But for some reason, for much of my life, ironically, I did not know how to love myself. Self-love, self-worth, two concepts I couldn't wrap my mind around beyond what you see in motivational quotes. So in my younger years, I unknowingly was inviting into my life a parade of either super non-committal or really unstable people emotionally. And to say it took a toll on my emotional well-being is an understatement. Every breakup felt like a funeral. And it got to the point I felt so broken inside with each relationship ending. I felt like, good Lord, one more heartbreak and this is seriously going to end me. I cannot go through this again. Which is why, even though I saw the red flags, something in my gut, my intuition, which I truly believe to be the voice of God, lovingly guiding me, kept saying, don't get involved with this person. Don't go down this road. But here again, I could not go through another heartbreak, and I just wanted so badly to share my life, my love, and my dreams with someone I was so hoping could be the one. He lived in another country, so the relationship was long distance. Over the phone, I picked up on some really bizarre inconsistencies with his behavior, but I just figured he's stressed from work, not getting enough sleep. Once we're together, I can make him happy. All will be well. His text messages were like poetry, and what he promised me over the phone, I just wanted so badly to believe him. So I bought into a brilliantly crafted facade. Cringeworthy confessions I'm sharing with you to give you an idea of where I was at and how far God has taken me. We only visited with each other once in person before getting married. And as we were crossing the country together, after saying I do, Jekyll turns into Hyde. Surprise, surprise. And I realized I had made the biggest mistake of my life. It wasn't an emotionally abusive nightmare that could have been a lot worse had I not been perfectly agreeable to him. I basically played a role like an actress in a movie for 3 years just to survive. Every day was like walking through a minefield. I never knew when he was going to blow up. But what felt worse was living a lie, pretending like everything's okay. You see, I felt so ashamed for making such a hasty decision to even get involved with this person despite all those flashing red flags. I didn't want anyone to know the truth of what was really going on behind the scenes. So I just vowed to myself, I'm going to do whatever I can to just make it work. Lovingly push for counseling every day, shower him with kindness no matter what. Nothing worked. And it had gotten so bad, I knew deep down in my heart, there's no way this is going to be sustainable for very much longer. And I just kept asking God, please help me understand, how is it that I keep ending up with the same person but with a different face, like a bad movie on replay? Well, God finally did reveal this to me in the most unexpected way, driving home from work late one night in a mind-blowing, mind-numbing depression. I just kept praying over and over, dear God, please just open this man's eyes. Just please make something miraculous happen. Well, something miraculous did happen that night. God opened my eyes. And I kid you not, I kid you not, in the car late that night, I felt this loving presence come over me. I wish I could describe it to you in words. It was so intense. It was overwhelming, honestly. It was so pronounced. With all my heart, I know it was God. And in that shattered, broken state I was in, I felt that God was wanting me to know how much I mattered to him, how real and how powerful his love really is. It's important for me to add here, I've always loved God. My relationship with God was always very special to me, but it wasn't until that moment did I realize I had no idea how to accept God's unconditional love. I don't think I could wrap my mind around love that you didn't have to win. And I hadn't felt like very much of a winner for a very long time. I was seeing myself through the lens of a lot of stuff that had happened in the past. And God was wanting me to see myself through his lens. The way he saw me had nothing to do with any of that. And he had great plans for my life if I would just trust him already. So for the very first time in years, I felt hope in that dark rock bottom place. I felt the presence of God in such a way, there is no way I could ever go back to life as it was. So fast forward, by the extravagant grace of God, I finally got out, got my life back, and when I crossed the border, it was unnerving. I never felt so vulnerable. It was just me, myself, and all these feelings and emotions I was no longer numb to. It's like God turned the volume way up on all my senses because I felt this heightened sense of awareness towards myself. I really didn't know what to do with it, but intuitively I knew to just allow myself to feel naked emotionally. Just work through it. Don't try to distract myself. Work through it if I was ever going to finally heal and try and forge a healthy relationship with myself. A series of divine breakthrough revelations followed. The first was coming across a blog post about codependency and narcissistic abuse, which felt like it was written for me personally. You can't heal from something you don't know is there. So the first big discovery was realizing I had been chronically codependent, ensnared in this vicious cycle of people pleasing and trying to save, fix, and rescue toxic people, no matter how bad their behavior, compromising myself, compromising my values, just to try and make them happy, and losing myself in the process. This discovery began my healing journey. How I overcame the codependency monster and started forging a healthy relationship with myself for the first time in my life happened by spending very intentional time alone with God, getting to know my true, authentic self. I began soul searching, asking myself these questions. What is it that brings me joy apart from another person? What is my soul calling and life purpose? What values do I hold as sacred? And then on the flip side, what's kryptonite? What is not okay? And what will I no longer accept for my life? One of the greatest gifts that comes out of being single when you approach it with this kind of intentionality is being able to answer these questions. And you realize how incredible it feels to not be submersed in toxicity. You become ferociously protective of your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. And you lose the temptation to settle for anything that just doesn't feel right. So this very intentional time alone with God led to the next critical piece for how I overcame the codependency monster and began forging a healthy relationship with myself. And that is finally understanding what it really means to love and value myself and to raise the bar for a set of standards that truly honor and reflect this. I realize that your value and worth is not contingent upon another person. It has nothing to do with how well you perform one day or fail the next. It has nothing to do with anything that might have happened to you from your past. Your value and worth is priceless because your very existence is held in the highest esteem to God. The heart of the Heavenly Father loves and cherishes you infinitely beyond anything or anyone you could possibly imagine loving in your lifetime. You, my friends, were created with great purpose and great destiny. The divine download that God had deeply imparted in my heart shortly after that, and this is especially for anyone who is single, or maybe there's someone near and dear to your heart who's single. I cannot encourage this enough. Make your focus be not so much searching for that right person. Make your focus be your relationship with God. Pursue Him first. Pursue His calling on your life. Make it be your mission to utilize everything that God has gifted you with to make the difference you were created to make in this life. The partner God has planned to come alongside you will be in perfect alignment with your best self, moving along the same path. You're both created to move forward together in God's perfect divine timing. My friends, if you were to walk away with anything from this message, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whether it's forging a healthy relationship with yourself or not settling for anything less than God's best for your life, or maybe it's overcoming something that feels larger than life, whatever it is, wherever you're at, when you make God be your front and center, when you pour all your energy, your faith, and your trust in Him, He will do immeasurably above and beyond anything you could dare ask or think. My friends, I can tell you with 100% certainty, as your encouraging voice, with God, there is no impossible. Thank you.
Jennifer LaGuardia!
This is the Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood